Hello, I'm Player State, and welcome to a new indie game video. Today we're going to take a look at the Iron Oath, which is a turn-based strategy game that came out of early access into 1.0 in November. It's a game that I've been looking forward to for quite a while. It was in early access for just over a year, I think. It's got kind of like an open world map that you explore, a bit like Battle Brothers, and then you got like kind of adventure into dungeons that work a bit like the dungeons in Darkest Dungeon, and it's got really good pixel art, so if you know me at all, you'll know that I'm well into that. Okay, so we need a company name. Let's just go with this. Sir. Oh, let's just change this. Starting point, new game, Iron Man off, aging penalties. If enabled, once the characters reach old age, they can potentially retire from your company or die. If this is disabled, they will never retire, die from old age. Now, let's have that on. That seems quite interesting. So we got Adventurer, Soldier, Battle Hardened, Warlord, Emperor, Custom. So Battle Hardened is recommended for players who are experienced with tactical RPGs but new to the Iron Oath. Normal amount of enemies have a moderate amount of power and health. New dungeon modifier every 50 turns. Okay. I don't know what that campaign time was. Perhaps should have checked that. In an era all but forgotten, the gods once lived alongside humanity in the heart of Calum. However, an unknown cataclysm event plunged the world into a dark age. History was lost to time, and so too were the gods. In their absence, a rebuilding humanity was left to contend with the emergence of a great being of darkness from the void. Every few decades, in an event called the Scourge, the dragon's arrival would bring death and disease to the land. Those afflicted by the dragon's blight would lose their minds and bodies as they slowly became abominations of flesh and outcasts to society, known as the Blighted. Despite centuries of effort from the Vanguard Order and the realm's greatest heroes, no lasting victory against the dragon could be achieved. Humanity has now come to accept the inevitability of the Scourge as part of life, enduring, or in some cases thriving despite it. With whispers of an impending Scourge circulating, you and your company find yourself in a burial crypt not far from the city of Andelon. A simple retrieval of smuggled supplies, or at least that's what your employer had promised. Yes, there's the setup. World doomed. Well, doomed to constantly be doomed. Doom about to arrive. Right, here we go. Straight into the fight. Uruk. Damn grave robbers, stay sharp. No doubt his companions will have heard that. Everyone stands still, tensions rising as they grip their weapons tight and scan the room for further hostiles. You hear a muffled shout from somewhere in an adjacent corridor, likely directed towards their now deceased associate. The sound of quickening footsteps soon follows, and three figures burst through a doorway at the far side of the room. Ramfid, should I go and alert the others? Eunice shakes his head, eyes fixed on the enemy. No time for that. We've no choice but to fight. Enter combat. Survey the battlefield using WASD. You can also pan by holding mouse free and moving the mouse. Oh, for goodness sake, like, look at that. Oh, no, it's going to... I wanted to go and change the... It got such screen tearing. I don't know what it is. I get it on everything nowadays. On their turn, each character can move as many hexes as their movement stats allow. By moving into a green hex, they can still perform an action afterwards. Okay. It's kind of standard. To cover more ground, you can sprint into the dashed grey hexes, but doing so will end your turn. You can swap places with an ally by moving onto their location. Swapping is useful for setting up attacks or for getting an ally out of harm's way. By holding shift, you can draw a custom movement route. Oh, interesting. To undo a movement, oh yes, thank you. I love games that give me an undo option. Turn-based tactical games, that is. To undo a movement, click the undo button on the hotbar or press the hotkey assigned to it, E. If you take damage or trigger a stage hazard, you will be unable to undo your movement. Let's move the Stormcaller into cover by clicking left mouse button on the indicated hex. What was it? Enable. There we go. So go there. Waiting. If you don't have a desirable action to perform, you can delay a character's turn until the end of the round by hitting the wait button. Alternatively, you can end a character's turn by using the guard action, which provides a temporary bonus to evasion and defense. Click the wait button to delay the Stormcaller's turn. Okay, let's wait. Your character's unique abilities have a limited number of charges available during the course of a dungeon. Charges can be restored by camping or by using certain provisions. If an ability runs out of charges, it can still be used, but at a large cost to the character's health. Interesting. With the enemy advancing on us, we can set a trap by using the Pyrolancer's Return to Cinder ability on the indicated hex. Okay, let's put that down. Here he comes. And shoots me for a lot of damage. Boom! As you can see, it's important to pay attention to any potential hazards when positioning your units. Some abilities are able to push or pull targets by forcing targets into obstacles and terrain. You can inflict bonus damage and other harmful effects. Move the Pugilist into position and use his Crescent Wave ability to push the enemy into the pit. So, Crescent Wave. Down you go. Wait, he didn't die? He came back? He fell down a pit! Every melee unit on the battlefield exerts a zone of control or hexes adjacent to their position. Another unit cannot leave this zone without suffering an attack of opportunity from their foe. This mechanic helps to lock down enemies and prevent them from reaching your more vulnerable characters. Conserve your stamina and keep him busy. Each character has a basic attack available to them. Unlike abilities, basic attacks have unlimited uses, but are subject to an accuracy and evasion check. Perform a basic attack. Thought I would just left click to do it. You have a clear view of the archer, take him down. Most attacks and abilities are subject to line of sight. When targeting, a red eye indicates that there is no line of sight, while a yellow eye indicates a partial line of sight. Large obstacles such as pillars can block line of sight entirely. When a character has no vision of an enemy, they are unable to directly target them. Smaller obstacles, getting very tongue-tied, such as a barrel, crate, or character will partially obscure line of sight under the right circumstances. You get 50%. Yep. All fairly standard. By taking cover directly behind a small obstacle, you can look over the obstacle and gain full vision while remaining only partially visible to the enemy. The Stormcaller's Conduit ability can devastate a single enemy from range, but takes a few turns to channel. You can see where a channel will finish by looking at the blue indicator arrow on the turn order. Select the Conduit ability and target the enemy. So he's charging. Avoiding attacks of opportunity. With the nearest enemy stunned, the Pyrolancer can safely move past their zone of control without incurring an opportunity of attack of opportunity. Attacks of opportunities can also be avoided by using abilities that incorporate movement or by utilising the swap action. Let's aid the Guardian and sprint to engage her. Oh, I'm getting a lot of damage. Right, he's dead. I couldn't see it on the thing. Finish him off, Petra. Can I just do a normal attack? Down you go. Your Pugilist has killed an enemy and gained morale, which is represented by the white bar under each character's portrait. Oh look, they got like the Baldur's Gate fill up with red until they die. Morale is a character's state of mind for the current mission. Morale is gained and lost through various combat triggers. Landing a killing blow will increase morale, while suffering a critical strike from an enemy will lower it. When morale is under 25, there is a chance for that character to delay or pass their turn. Additionally, a character with low morale will cure more fatigue from missions, will also lose loyalty towards their company. So this is kind of like a bit like the sanity in Darkest Dungeons, which was what I was talking about. Because you kind of go into a dungeon, you can't leave, and yeah, you'll kind of accrue this morale or fatigue. When morale is over 75, all negative conditions applied to that character will have their duration reduced by 1, to a minimum of 1. Targets are considered flanked whenever you occupy 2 opposing hexes around their location. All attacks against flanked targets deal 15% extra damage and cannot miss. If your chance to hit with a basic attack is low, it's best to try and flank. Let's move the Guardian into a flanking position and attack the enemy. Why is that not a flanking position? Oh, is it opposite? I see, sorry. Time to end this. Do I just do like an attack and it zooms in and his gibs go everywhere? We've got antidote, scrap, and a human head. Who would want? Why would anyone want this? I don't know, but we're going to take it all. Your party swivels around as a familiar voice rings out distantly behind you, though the words are unclear. Is that you, Varn? Varn dashes into the room and stops, bending over to catch his breath. He looks up with a relieved smile. We heard the fighting. I wanted to make sure you had it covered. And the others? Torin and the rest are still searching. Not the most convenient place to stash the supplies, is it? At least we're getting paid well to retrieve them. We've been in worse situations. Aye. That we have, boss. Was just hoping my last job would be free of surprises. I can't fault you for wanting out, but I wish you'd reconsider. Varn smiles faintly. This life takes a toll, my friend. I've seen more death than any man should. Your trusted advisor, Alaric, steps out from beside you with hands raised. There's plenty of time for talk later. It's going to take a while to scour this place, even with the others' help. Right, I better get back to Torin and the rest before they find themselves lost. Watch your backs. There may be more of these thieves in here, or worse yet. Varn looks back over his shoulder, nodding in acknowledgement. Let's get moving. Dungeon exploration and time. Most actions you take while exploring a dungeon will cost time. The passage of time can have harsh consequences and is represented by the time meter in the bottom right. Here we go, this one here. We should begin exploring. Use left mouse button to move. Scouting can be used to reveal the identity of a nearby event and can help to avoid traps and other surprises that may await you. By scouting an enemy location, you prevent them from being able to ambush you. It does have limited uses, so it should be used sparingly. Click right mouse button to toggle scouting mode and use the left mouse button on an unexplored event to reveal it. It's a treasure chest. When interacting with an exploration event, you'll often have multiple choices available to you, sometimes costing various amounts of time. Your characters will have their own opinion on the choices you make, which can affect their overall loyalty to the company. You spot a discarded pack up ahead, likely dropped in haste by the grave robbers. Didn't expect to find much of value, but there's no sense in leaving it behind. Take whatever looks useful in one turn. Receive bandages and tools. Provisions can be used both in and out of combat. While exploring, you can access your provision inventory in the bottom left menu, or by pressing I. Like other actions, provisions used during exploration have their own associated time cost. So we've got a small healing potion, antidote ahead, bandage which stabilises bleed, and then tools used to boost success rate with traps. How many times, is there something that tells me how many times I can explore? Total combat encounters, number of tiles explored. Let's have another scout. Oh, we don't know what it is. A faint and distant rumbling becomes audible, steadily growing louder and closer with each passing moment. You look up, noticing cracks forming in the ceiling as small rocks break off and fall to the floor around you. It's a cave-in, we need to move! Breaking into stride behind the rest of your party, you glance back to see the corridor collapsing in a cascade of falling stones. You cross the threshold into another chamber, diving to the ground as the rumbling and crashing halts, leaving your vision obscured by a cloud of dust and dirt. Everyone okay? You look around as the dust settles, relieved to find your party unscathed. Ahead of you, Ulrich lightly kicks at some rubble on the ground as he inspects the caved-in passage. We'll need to search for another way out. Let's hope that cash we're after can still be salvaged. We should find the others. With any luck, they'll have already located both things. So I can't go that way, but then I can't go this way. Your path is blocked by a pile of rubble from the recent cave-in. Ulrich climbs atop to gauge the severity of the blockage. I can see a clear path ahead. Just need to move enough of this rubble so we can squeeze through. He turns and looks down at you. Any ideas? So we could move the rubble by hand, which is 15 turns, or 15 time. Let's clear this quickly, forget the risk, which is blast a hole with magic. Anyone feel like shoveling, and you can use the tools to clear the path. So I'm going to guess this one is going to end up injuring some people, so I'm going to use the tools to clear the path, seeing as we've got them. With an affirming nod, Uric grasps the shovel and begins to dig, soon clearing a path wide enough for everyone to fit through. Okay, let's just charge into this. A set of tracks lie before you on the ground. It's possible something came through here. It might take some time, but shall I see where this leads? Yes, take your time, reveal a nearby enemy. We'll just have to be careful, then continue. Okay, let's use some time. Right, okay, so they're right here. Deployment phase. During the deployment phase, you can reposition your party ahead of combat. Deployment zones vary from fight to fight, and you'll have to make do with what's available. Click left mouse button on any character to move them. Knowing where enemies can move and attack will help you position your party optimally. To view an enemy's movement and attack range, you can press tab over their character sprite. Once you're satisfied with your formation, click the start combat to proceed. Oh, that's me in it. So they can move to there. Oh, the dog can move well far. Oh, I must have pressed something to start. Oh, well, never mind. Alright, so what's this guy do? He's got punches and kicks. Guess we just move here. So we've got dash to an empty cell and strike an enemy, strike an adjacent enemy and walk directly behind them for a second strike that pushes them away. Kick up to 3 adjacent, or I could just do a normal attack. This does 97 damage. Chance to hit 94%. I think I'll just do a normal attack for now. Oh, these guys are surrounded by dogs. Ranged enemies can pack a punch, but they can be countered with line of sight or by engaging them in melee. When their line of sight is obscured, ranged units will only deal 50% damage. Large obstacles can block the line of sight completely. If cover is not an option, you can jump on top of a ranged enemy and engage them in melee. By doing this, the ranged unit can only attack adjacent enemies and their damage is reduced by 50%. These mechanics also apply to your characters. You can remove negative conditions from your characters with cleansing abilities or by using an antidote on them. Doing this will also provide temporary immunity to all conditions for a few rounds. Not all harmful effects can be cleansed, such as injuries or the flank status. Has he got a... But he hasn't got anything on him, has he? So what we got here? Wildfire. Target 3 cells in any direction, applying fire to rain blast for 2 turns. That sets the trap. Deal damage to 2 targets in a row. I can't... That would be like this way, wouldn't it? Damage a single adjacent target and apply burn. Yeah, so I can only do that. I thought I could get both of them, but I can't. You're nearly dead. We move to here and then just do a normal attack because we're flanking you and you're dead. Have you got... No. How do I know whether you're ranged or not? A ball of lightning that hits the primary target and arcs to all adjacent targets. That's going to hit my guy. Randomly strikes 4 times in a circular area. Targets any cell within range and channels for the next 5 turns, dealing massive lightning damage to the occupants. Does a lot of damage. Ugh. Right, let's use my kick. Oh no, it's going to push them away. I don't want to use that. No. So when's this channeling going to start? It says there's like a blue icon. Is it this one here? So he's probably going to move, isn't he? Just give you a little slap. Just do a normal attack. You're dead. And then you go here and do another normal attack. Mocking guard. I don't know what that is. Go here. Oh wait, that barely does any damage. What am I doing? Wait, what? Why did I just attack like that? Let's dash up. Oh no, I've just walked through the trap. Oh no, he's going to get attacked. Oh, for goodness, I'm really played this really poorly. That's, oops. If I did it here, that seems like a waste though. I'm just going to wait. Ah, man, so much. Wait, no. Okay, I'm just going to guard. What's this? Why are they, I'm going to give him a bit of a... No, he goes that way. Why does he go that way? I don't understand what these are for. Falling rocks. Okay. Oh, he's stunned. If we move here... I like the way it zooms in for the final kill. That was poor. I don't think I did that very well. Took more damage than I needed to on some of those attacks. Eunice runs their hands along a wall of interned dead, reading each nameplate before moving on to the next. He suddenly stops and turns with relief in his voice. This is it. Let's hope the contents are still intact. Reaching into the dark recess, Ulrich pushes aside the creaking lid of a coffin and pulls out the hidden contents within. After a quick peek inside the pack, he walks over to you and places it in your hands. It's all there. No damage to the vials from what I can tell. What does our employer want with them anyway? Alaric interjects, eager to share his knowledge on the matter. This here is a cure for the blight, or at least it slows the process. The Vanguard keeps it tightly controlled though, only treating those who place themselves to their order. As you can imagine, it's highly sought after on the black market. At least our efforts haven't been wasted. Let's hope the others have secured an exit for us. Continue. All dungeons have a main path which leads to your objective, and various side paths that branch off from it, denoted by the fog-covered tiles. Side paths carry more dangers to your party, but they also provide more opportunities for reward. It's important to consider the state of your party and the task at hand before venturing down a side path, as things could turn sideways very quickly. So we could go for that. Or this is the exit, I assume. Or is this like a fight? I'm just going to go for the fight. I'm a bit like weak, this guy especially. You hear a sudden movement in the darkness ahead. The sounds of bones rattling and steel scraping across the stone floor. Bright green eyes turn towards you, and the figure lets out a bone-chilling screech as it shuffles forward and into the light of your torches, moving faster than its size and awkward gait would suggest was possible. That cave-in must have woken the dead. Prepare yourself. Fight. Should have healed before I went in. Bosses and elite enemies will spawn with unique combat traits. They are an important thing to consider when facing these foes. You can view these traits and their effects by hovering the enemy's portrait on the right side of the screen and then mousing over the trait's name in the tooltip. Right, so we've got his resistance to piercing, vulnerable to crushing, and is immune to bleed and fear. He deals more damage when their target is flanked and immune to freeze conditions. Okay then. Let's put you here. You... Oh wait, are there enemies that way? Okay. You here. You here. Right. I'm going to go hide behind this pillar. Pillar maybe? Ah, this guy's going to have to be taken out though, isn't he? Wait, how far can he move? So he can't come and get me, so I'm going to go over here. And then I'm going to wait. Oh, he can hit me. And then you can move here, and you should be able to kill. Yes, death to you. Right, you're going to go over here. And then guard, I guess, because you can't get any closer. Ah. Oh my goodness, he's well low. Is there any way I can heal? No? He's gonna die. I should have healed before we came in. This is no good. Also, he can't move. Why can't I move? Oh, use item. Oh dear, he gets massively smashed though. Right, let's move to here. No, that's not helpful. No, can't do that. No targets in range. Let's do that on you, mate. I have to run to get up here. He's probably going to die next turn, isn't he? Wait, was he... Oh, he's stunned now. Pulled hamstring left. Injuries have a chance to occur when a character is under 50% health, and will always occur when their health reaches 0. If the character sustains an injury, you can use a bandage to stabilise them and prevent their injuries from worsening. If they continue fighting with an unstabilised injury, the severity of it can increase. When a character's health drops to 0 in combat, they will enter a bleed out state, and their health value will be replaced by a bleed out pool. This pool is persistent throughout the course of the dungeon. Their bleed out pool will drop by 1 on their turn, and from attacks suffered. Permanent death will occur if the pool is depleted. To recover a character from a bleed out state, you can heal them with provisions, or have an ally pick them up. What's this one do? Deal damage to 2 targets in a row. Mark of... No, oops. Just gonna use that, I guess. It's a lot of damage. I think we need to rush up. Yeah. Oh no, I've got 2 characters down. Wait, what happened to this? Did I do it already? Let's get you up. He's nearly dead. If I do another one of these, yeah, you're gonna die. Oh no, he's not quite dead. Rats. Heal a single target within range. No, I can't. I'm not in range of anyone. If I move in front, immediately root an adjacent target for 2 rounds, then channel for 5 turns to deal massive damage against them. Oh, I can heal him. Will this be death? Yeah, death. Let's move here. Fist of Fury. Down they go. Everyone's up. Enemy passives. Some enemies have passive abilities. These undead skeletons are able to reanimate after being defeated. Excellent. To prevent them from reanimating, we'll need to target and destroy the pile of bones. If you want to see what is it. Okay. Yeah, nice takedown. That wasn't perfect, but we kind of saved everybody. When characters gain enough experience points, they will level up and receive attribute points and ability points to spend. There are 7 attributes for you to put points into and rank up: health, power, mending, evasion, accuracy, critical chance, and speed. Characters specialise in a few randomly chosen attributes, represented by stars. These attributes require fewer points to rank up. By levelling up, you'll be able to unlock new abilities for each character. Each class has 6 abilities to unlock, though they can only equip 4 at a time, and abilities cannot be changed during dungeons. Ability points can be spent to upgrade or alter the effects of a character's unique abilities. All of this can be managed in the Manage Roster screen, G, or by clicking on a character's portrait. So we've got a Scroll of Retribution. While guarding, reflect 100% of damage. Decorative Wand, so it's a new weapon. Bandage, and some scrap. Okay, scouting. We've got one more scout, we'll use it there. A set of tracks lies before you on the ground. These tracks seem to belong to that last group we took out. Let's keep going then. Can we use items? Use bandage on you. Use bandage on you. Your party comes to a standstill as muffled shouts and ringed steel reverberates down the corridor towards you. Uric unsheaths his lance as he breaks into stride, barreling towards the sound of battle. That must be the others, hurry. Yeah, have you seen how, injured we are? Well, they seem to be doing alright though. Your party comes to a standstill as muffled shouts and ringed steel reverberates. Oh no, I read that, haven't I? With the last of the undead dealt with, Varn hails you across the chamber with a flick of his hand. A relieved smile formed upon his face. You found it then? The exit's just beyond here. Been trying to keep it clear of the dead, but they just keep coming. A pile of the bones on the ground suddenly begins to rattle. Torin steps towards with an amused grunt, crushing a skull beneath his foot and grinding into a fine dust. Took you all long enough. Varn here was getting all worked up and thinking the worst. The crypts groan once more, the ground beneath you shaking ever so slightly. I don't expect this structure will hold out much longer, sir. We'd best not linger. Uric raises his torch high, inspecting the ceiling above as small pebbles break away from it. Good advice, I reckon. We got what we came for, let's not tempt fate. Exit. After a mission, you'll want to seek treatment for any injuries your party has incurred. While an injured character can still fight, injury penalties will make them less effective. In order to heal an injury, you must pay for their treatment at a city's infirmary. Some injuries require prompt treatment, otherwise they risk permanent damage or death. I see. Today's total days until fatigue wears off. Everyone's fatigued, and we got pulled a hamstring and a head injury. It's funny to pull a hamstring battling in combat. As the last light of day begins to fade, you spot your company's camp not far ahead, the flickering flames of bonfire dancing against the darkened sky above the horizon. You stroll into camp, the celebrations of Varn's retirement already well underway. After many hours of swapping stories and sharing drinks, all eyes fall on Varn as he steps atop a nearby crate with a drink in hand, raising his voice to pierce through the ruckus. Now, you all know I'm not one for lengthy speeches, but I'd just like to say that it's been an honour to fight alongside each of you over the years. I dare say that I even consider some of you among my friends. He grins, met by a chorus of laughs and cheers. It hasn't been an easy road, but I've been a fortunate man. Not everyone gets out of the mercenary life on their own terms. I hope you all one day get the same chance. He raises his cup in a toast. To you, my friends, there has never been a finer company. Hear, hear! The crowd responds with a burst of applause and cheers, enthusiastically raising their drinks and sending a shower of ale through the air. Your gaze is met by Varn as he points his cup towards you, and you nod your head in friendly acknowledgement before striding off to find your tent. With the celebrations continuing in your absence, you brush aside the flap to your tent and settle inside, discarding your weaponry and tossing it near your bedroll. You turn your attention to your desk, its surface covered with disorganised papers, illuminated by the faint glow of a candle. Pulling up a stool, you sit down and begin to pore over one of the maps, charting out tomorrow's course. From outside, the sound of laughter and poorly played music drifts into your tent. After some time, with the celebrations audibly winding down, you step outside your tent and into the cool evening air. Varn, approaching your side, mounted atop a horse. Despite the smile on his face, there is a trace of sadness in his eyes. Is it time then? Aye. He leans down and pats the side of his horse. Got my saddle loaded up. Figure I'd sneak out without making a big fuss. He rises from his seat and dismounts, turning to face you with one hand extended. Just wanted to say thanks, boss, for everything. You return the gesture with a smile, gripping his hand and giving it a firm shake. Any chance I can convince you to stay? He steps back and chuckles. If you'd have asked last week, maybe, but this last job cleared any doubts I had. I've survived this long reckoning. I'd be a fool to press my luck any further. Fair enough, friend. We'll always have a place for you if you change your mind. You hear a shout and turn to see Uric stepping towards you, his young nephew in tow. Sorry to interrupt. He tilts his head, gesturing behind him, but Gedrick here wants to see you off. Is that so? Varn smiles, stepping towards the boy. I know we haven't completed your training, but your uncle's more than capable of finishing the job. I know that. He looks up with admiration. I'm going to miss you, though. Aye. Varn grins, reaching out to tousle the boy's hair. And are you? I've half a mind to send him with you. Less danger on a farm, and goodness knows your old bones could use the help. Ha! There's a few good years in me yet, but you're both welcome to visit any time. He exhales deeply, stealing a glance toward the road. I'd best get going then. Take care of yourselves, would you? He nods farewell, turning towards his horse and hoisting himself into the saddle. Clicking his heels, the horse trots off, and you watch him disappear into the dark of night, illuminated only by the moonlight above. You and Uric glance back at the sound of approaching footsteps to find Torin wedged himself between the two of you, his breath reeking of ale. Company won't be the same without him, I'm afraid. Indeed it won't. As Uric and Torin take their leave, you look around the camp, surveying the aftermath of the festivities. Aside from a few inebriated men and women who remain slumped by the fires, it seems that most have turned in for the night. With days of travel yet ahead, you think it wise to follow suit. Oh, hello. You bolt upright from your sleep, awakened by the blares of a horn from somewhere in your camp. The sound of a frenzied battle are all around you, and you scramble out of your bedroll, taking up a nearby sword. Alric bursts into your tent, an orange glow briefly visible behind him as the flap is flung aside. Sir, we're under attack! Winded, he takes in a few deep breaths. There was no warning! The horses, the carriages! He raises his hands, trembling with frustration. Everything's been taken! We need to regroup with the others. Have you seen Uric? Alric wipes the sweat from his brow, shaking his head. Couldn't find him. With Gedrick, I hope. You meet Alric's eyes and nod in agreement. With a firm grip on your sword, you step past him and reach for the tent's flap. Let's move, stay close. You emerge from your tent, head on a swivel as you survey the situation. The camp is almost entirely ablaze, the heat and smoke stinging in your eyes and obscuring your vision. You make your way ahead, your feet suddenly catching on something as you fall forward and scramble to stay upright. Recovering, you steal a glance backwards at the obstacle, one of your companions, dead. An arrow flies by you, narrowly missing, but finding a target nonetheless. Ulrich screams out in pain behind you, leg collapsing under him as he falls hard to the ground. You turn back, reaching out a hand to pull him up, but he waves you off. Leave me, I'll be no use in a fight. You follow his gaze down to his leg, a blood-covered arrow sticking through it. Go! You turn and continue onward, staying low to the ground as you move, eyes scanning for any friendly faces through the smoke. Not 50 yards ahead, you spot 4 of your companions through the haze, huddled together with weapons drawn against an overwhelming number of assailants. Sucking air into your burning lungs, you urge your legs forward in a desperate attempt to reach them. A figure suddenly appears from the corner of your eye, and with a flash of pain, the world goes dark. Surrounded, Petric's head whips around, reaching frantically for any possible escape as the raiders edge closer. Beyond the ring of enemies, Torin and a few other familiar faces emerge from the darkness with blooded weapons drawn, though they don't seem inclined to make urgent use of them. Petric, what are you waiting for, Torin? Help us! The raiders eye Torin as he confidently steps among them, each seemingly unconcerned by his presence, perhaps even emboldened by it. Sorry, friends. A twisted smirk forms at the corner of his mouth as he slides an arrow from his quiver. We'll make this quick. Errol! Eri! Petrick glances at Torrin with wild fury in their eyes, arms trembling as they level their weapon towards him. You damned traitors! Have you no honour? Torrin scoffs. Honour? Achieves little in this world. Glancing sideways at his accomplices, he raises a hand, signaling them to attack. I trust you lot can handle the rest. Spare no one. When the odds are against you, sometimes all you can do is minimise your losses. Use everything at your disposal and don't hold back. Right, so we got... You can move to there, you can move to there. You can move all the way over there. And then I'm going to discard. What was that? Hone? What's going on? Why are they zooming in? Is that critical hits or something? Heal you. If we move over here. Oh no, forgot about that. Guardian Angel. Apply damage shield to an ally for 3 rounds and transport them to a vacant cell. Swing her spear and arc, damaging 2 adjacent. I guess we just do like a chop. Because we haven't got much else we can do. Oh no, he's moved. Is that me? Because I can't. No, I can't get damaged. That's annoying. Let's move over here because then this will be a critical strike. Damage and blind an adjacent enemy for 1 round. Yes, let's do that. Blind you, boy. Oh, it's not quite going to kill it. That's annoying. He's going to get attacked if he moves. Not quite. That's not really that useful. That's going to shock you. That's just going to... I guess I'll just do that again. Can I do a punch? This will kill him. Down you go. Oh, she's getting surrounded. No, not quite dead. Swing a spear and arc, damaging. Oh no, I can't. That's annoying. Just deal death to the dog. Yeah, this is going. This is not. I mean, this guy does. His damage is. If he moves there, he gets attacked. I think. No, but it says maybe I don't. Ah, now and then I can use this. Not this. This. No, that arcs to you anyway. This one? No. What was it? Wait, what? No, what's going on? Why is it not letting me use this one? There we go. No. Oh, I can't put that. It's going to hit me. Oh, just do normal attack. There's just no damage, though. It's like completely pointless. Just do one of these. I want some ranged people. Well, kill you. You go to here. And then use this. Fly in any direction to an unoccupied cell, dealing damage to all Enemies you pass through. Doesn't seem like it's worth it. Although it does do more damage. Keeps running away. Let's go up here and then heal you. I could try this, but there's nothing to. I guess you need to lock them down before you do that. Move it over here so you can get the critical hit. And then I might as well charge over here. Yep, she moved. Blind, root and adjacent target for 2 rounds. This should be just clean up duty now, really. Get you to go behind. And you're dead. Right, that was everyone got through, I guess. That's what matters. Opening your eyes, you find yourself sprawled on the ground with a mouthful of dirt and a throbbing ache in your head. Despite the ringing in your ears, you can hear a muffled voice calling out. A hand grips your shoulder and you jerk at the touch, clawing at the ground and scrambling onto your back. Easy now. You exhale with relief at the sight of Ulrich, leaning over you, the early morning light shining upon his blood-spattered face and garments. He straightens up and you grab hold of his extended arm, gripping tight as he pulls you upright. Regaining your senses, you look out at the smoking remains of your camp. Anything not taken by the raiders has been taken by the fires. Not much left, is there? The bastards took everything. He closes his eyes, lowering his head and sighing deeply. It was Torin, sir. He betrayed us. Torin? Are you sure? Ulrich nods. Wasn't alone either. Daemons, Innos, Naira. His fingers clenched into trembled fists. All traitors. Through the anger, you notice a sadness in his eyes and realise suddenly that his nephew isn't present. Where's Gedrick? Eunice glances down, slowly shaking his head. Don't know for certain, but I fear he's dead. He sighs. I was with him when the attack started, but we ran into trouble. Told the boy to run, but... He pauses, staring blankly into the distance. Don't remember much else, I'm afraid. Woke up to Ulrich dragging me out from under a pile of bodies. Ulrich's alive? Are there any others? Aye, he's alive. Managed to find a place to hide and patch himself up. I told him to stay off his feet. He snorts, waving a hand over the general area behind him. But he's out there, limping around, trying to salvage what he can. Thankfully, there's a few others too. Seems they managed to kill a whole group of them. His brief smirk fades into a grim expression. I'm afraid that's all, though. You turn to see Ulrich emerging from a half-burnt tent, limping your way and being helped along by other survivors of your company. A relieved smile forms on their faces at the sight of you. We're glad to see you, sir. He glanced at you, Ulrich. Have you shared the news? I did. Ulrich fumbles inside his coat, pulling out a few slightly scorched papers. I found some correspondence in one of their tents. They had been planning this for months, it seems. Ulrich mutters under their breath. Traitors. Any idea who they were working with? I'm afraid not. Certainly more than just a ragtag group of thieves. They were too well armed and too well organised. Ulrich scoffs with disgust, leaning over to spit on the ground. A group of cowards, I say. Easy to achieve victory when half our troops passed out drunk. No doubt Torin and them were counting on that fact, the spineless pricks. I never did like Torin Non. Always felt uneasy around him. Ulrich furls his brow, a thought creeping into his mind. I can hardly stomach the notion, but could Farn have been involved? Ulrich waves a dismissive hand. Not a chance. I know he and Torin got on well enough, but the man's as loyal as they come. I'm just glad he wasn't here for this. We've lost too much already. Right, I think I need to save there, Can I save? Where do I... there is no save. Huh? Does it automatically save? Maybe it auto-saves. Anyway, I'm going to call the recording there because it's gone on quite a while and it's just kind of like text at the moment. It's well written, but there's quite a lot of it. I suppose it feels longer when I'm reading it all out. But yeah, that's Iron Oath. It's kind of gives a good first impression, personally. The combat's good. The systems are quite neat. Look forward to getting kind of stuck into them and like exploring the world and taking on contracts and that kind of stuff. Really like the pixel art, obviously, as I would. So yeah, it's out now, as I said. Just come out of early access a month ago. So I'll put a link in the description below so you can check it out if it looks like the kind of game you would you like to play. It's kind of a bit like Battle Brothers, War Tales, games of that ilk. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and maybe subscribing, leaving a comment. All that stuff really helps the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.